Puns are so corny. Candy corn acrylic nail art tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you the first of 4 pun nails that I'm going to be doing throughout the rest of the month. And so this one is going to be a candy corn pun that says puns are so corny, so it's kind of a double whammy there. It's a corn pun about puns, which is, yeah, right up my alley. So I hope you guys like this as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.
So I also decided that I would be showing you guys a new 3D brush that I just bought from Koopa, and it's pretty cool. It has a little dotting tool on the end that just kind of pops out, which is nice, and a nice crystal on it. It is slightly larger than the previous 3D brush that I was using. So here's my old one, and as you can see, I'll zoom in just a moment. The bristles are starting to get a little bit frayed, which is why I decided I would update it. So there's the old and there's the new, and it is the new one is quite a bit bigger than the old one, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. I haven't used it too much lately, or yet I suppose is the word I should use, but I'm excited to be practicing with it. So to start out this design, I'm going to begin with a gradient. This is a 3-color gradient. So if you have never done a 3-color gradient before, you really have to monitor the size of the acrylic bead that you're using, because you will probably end up completely covering up one of your colors if you don't do that and keep it all spaced out. So I started out with yellow at the tip of the nail, then orange, and then white. And then you're going to want to go through and encase the nail with a layer of clear acrylic to make sure it is nice and strong. If you aren't 100% happy with your gradient, you can go through and file it at first, file it in the beginning, and that will probably even out some any areas that need to be a little bit fixed up. So if you just go through and file it quick before you encase it, and then file it again with your e-file, starting out the coarse bit, remove any bulk, and then switching to a finer bit to give it that nice smooth texture. So now I'm going to be sculpting my little 3D candy corns, and if you want, you could definitely have done this with your 3 colors of acrylic, making your triangles. I decided to do them just with triangles of white and then go through and paint them later. That is completely up to you and your personal preferences and style. I like to paint, and so I decided to do it this way, and so I'm going to just very simply sculpt 3 triangles. This is so simple, so easy. Definitely something that I thought was a good first design to try with my new brush. Sometimes you get a new brush and it just is such a different creature than the one that you're used to using. You get really comfortable with a brush, and then when you have to switch it out, it's a little tricky sometimes. So I figured something really simple like this would be the perfect first design to start out with. So after I have my 3 triangles sculpted, like I said, I went through and I painted my candy corn stripes. So I started out with the yellow on the largest section of my candy corn. Then I'm going to take some orange paint and add a stripe next to it, leaving the very tip of every triangle white. And as you can see, some of my triangles are pointing up and some of my candy corns are pointing down. That way, you know, keeps it interesting, but it's basically one orange stripe that continues across the entire nail, if you want to look at it that way. Then take some black paint, and I'm going to be outlining my little candy corns. And then really quick, the reason I showed you guys, or just go back to my brushes and talk about those for just a moment. So the one that I was using was a Crystal Nails 3D Mini. So Crystal Nails also has a 3D brush that probably would be a comparable size to the brush that I just bought. If I do find that this brush is just a little too big for me, I will probably go and repurchase that 3D Mini from Crystal Nails, because that brush has really suited me well over the past 4 years I've had that brush, and it's just now I'm like, you know what, I think it's time, it's run its course. Replacement is probably a good idea. But I have done a couple different designs with that new one, and I haven't had any problems with it yet, so I'm thinking that should probably be my new go-to. And it's from Koopa, and I've kind of been switching all of my products over to Koopa just in general. I really like all their stuff, so I thought I'd just show you guys that brush because I get asked what 3D brush I use all the time, so I figured I would just give you all a heads up that I'm switching it out if you've asked in the past and like, wait a minute, does that look different? It is different, so I just thought I'd mention that. So then with black paint, I'm going to be writing puns are so corny. Puns and corny are very bolded. The are so is a little bit more thinner lines. I did this all with black paint. When you're painting the bolder prints, just make sure you have more paint on your brush, and you can use the same brush and it'll work out just fine. The higher amount of paint will just give you thicker lines. Then with white paint, I'm going to be filling in the letters of puns and corny. So just with the same thing, go back to a very minimal amount of paint on your brush, and that's going to give you those thinner lines to fill that in with. The one tricky part about this is I'm doing this on a coffin-shaped tip, which when you're doing a coffin nail, obviously it tapers towards the tip of the nail, which is where corny is written. Corny is our largest word of this design, so fitting the largest word into the smallest space can be a little hinky. What I did is I just made my letters narrower. I kept them about the same height. I just shrinked them into the sides. I gave them a diet. And then I'm going to go back with orange paint and fill in the center of each letter of puns with stripes of orange, and then fill in the tops of the letters with yellow to give them a candy corn hue. Then apply some gel sealer over the background, and then I'm going to go and apply matte top coat over my little corn. And that is it. I love the way this nail turned out. I think the little candy corn theme is adorable. So I hope you guys like it as much as I do, and please share recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram. I would love to see them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!